Hey guys, I'm Alex.
I'm Jason. We're the Table Monkeys, and this is Table Talks episode 9. So, this is just some after polling that we did from the BAL 101, the first BAL session or event that we had.
If you weren't there, it sucks for you.
Yeah, I missed out. It was our last YouTube video, so it'll pop up at the end of this video, and you can go check it out. Had some really good matches, and leads us to the topic for today, which is going to be game plan, like planning for a match, planning for an opponent, planning for a tournament, and how game plans should change. And we'll talk about these matches, kind of what the game plans might have been for people going in, and what we thought was going to happen, and when it ended up happening.
Yeah, we made some predictions before this, and most of them came true. I guess they're...
Well, we didn't really say who was going to win. We just kind of said, like, if it goes this way, it's going to, like, if this person does this, it's going to go that way, and if this person does that, it's going to go this way.
Yeah.
I think for the most part we weren't wrong. Like,
no. I mean, I definitely thought I was going to win my match. And
yeah, but I don't even remember what we said about it, but I do believe us talking about it before, we knew that if you got forced into the hook, you were in a bad situation, you know, and that's definitely what Derek was able to do. He was able to force you into the hook. So,
yeah.
Do you want to start with that match, or should we go in order of the...
Let's just go in order, yeah.
All right, so we'll start talking about Miguel and Jordan, which I think possibly could have been match of the... I mean, your guys' match was really good too, but Miguel was just such a...
Oh,
he was
for
just
sure,
so
match
on fire,
of the day.
you know, like the pull of the day was definitely their third round or their fourth round, his third win.
Yeah,
you know, with his yelling no to Jordan across the table, that was pretty epic.
So epic.
Yeah.
Yeah. He came in that day so fired up and pissed at us.
Straight up pissed off. Straight up told us, you guys pissed me off in the last table talks, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, and like just head down.
It made me excited.
Yeah.
Like, him saying that, I knew.
Yeah. No, he was fired up the whole time.
It was gonna be a hard match with Jordan.
Yeah. You know, and you I think, I don't know if you said that in the table talks, but you definitely said that, like, we had definitely talked about that, and that was definitely the thing. If he came in fired up enough, it was definitely going to be a hard day for Jordan.
And we knew that his money shot was that press. Mm-hmm. And first round, he shoots in for it right away.
Nailed it. Jordan tried to hang on to it for a second and then realized he was in too far.
Yeah.
And what did Miguel do in that first round was he was able to keep his hand on top of Jordan's wrist and maintain it. I think eventually his hand started to burn out, so he kind of lost it a little bit by the end. But then he got the straps. Like, he ended up figuring out how to get to the straps, and then once he had the straps, it was also, you know, game over for Jordan. I mean, that third round was definitely a grinder. But Miguel just finds another level, which is awesome. You definitely need that. I
think Jordan got a little too comfortable, not trying to get out of position and just trying to hold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he thought he was going to be able. I think maybe that. Getting back to our sort of quote unquote topic.
Right.
I think game plan wise for Jordan, and maybe he'll tell us if we're wrong about this, but I feel like his game plan was to not maybe let him get to his press, but not necessarily deny it. And once he gets there, hold it. I think he felt confident enough with the way he's gone in practice that he was going to be able to hold his press and burn his arm out. And once he burned his arm out, maybe he was going to lose 1 or even 2 rounds to it. But once Miguel's elbow was gone, which we know happens, like in practice, once his elbow gets tired, it does like a lot of that, which is what happens to everybody. Then all of a sudden that move kind of, if it doesn't disappear, but it gets a lot weaker, right?
And you can't press without some level of finger strength.
Yeah,
so as soon as you lose that, then you can slip easily.
Yeah, but slipping wasn't an advantage for Jordan, it seemed like, because it allowed, like, Miguel is pretty good at pulling into the strap and doing that press without his hand at all. Yeah. So I think Jordan's game plan was for him to burn his elbow out. That's what it seemed like with the way he was just kind of trying to stay back and stay cool on that move and let him sink it in a little bit and go for it. But again, I don't think he thought that he was going to come in with that much rage. Just straight up rage, Miguel.
Oh yeah, I think he was surprised by that.
Yeah, it was just pure rage.
Because he definitely came in very calm, collected.
Yeah.
You know, he thought. I guess he probably thought he was in the bag.
Yeah. And he won that second round doing the right thing.
Yeah.
He countered the press with a hook, which was beautiful, and then dragged him down with his hook, and was great. And then in the third round, he got him in the same position and elbow fouled, and then went away from it for some reason. I don't know why. What changed for him there, but if he had stuck to driving him into a hook and dragging him down, it wouldn't have been a good day for Miguel. Miguel would have been very upset.
That's when Miguel started trying to flop.
Yeah, that's when it is when he flopped and started going under. But the reason, at least I'd have to talk to Jordan and really look at the film again to understand exactly why. But it seems like after that elbow foul, he stopped trying to drive him into the hook and he started to go back to the top roll and trying to go over his hand instead of under his hand. Which
don't know why he would do that.
I don't either. Why he made the switch there? I feel like it was. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I have to ask him. That was where it was a little weird for me because there was a moment where it was tight. Like they were 1-1, and it was like okay, and then there was elbow foul and foul for the slip, right? And then so it was becoming a real match, and then Miguel just kept finding that next level. And the first pin. So his second win, the first pin in the strap, Miguel drove him right to the pad. That was a boom. Like Jordan didn't have a chance to drive in the hook or anything. Yeah, that was a flash. And then in the third one, he went to the top roll again. But he did kind of start in the hook, and then either Miguel was able to get under it, or Jordan decided to come around his hand. But he did kind of start in a hook for a second, and then it turned into the flop in the top roll, and then. Maybe Jordan felt confident because he was on his table's side enough that he
got on his side and he held him.
No,
he held him like Miguel's so out of his shoulder, and he's like no, he gets his arm back in his shoulder,
so good.
Or his hand behind his shoulder behind his hand, and then
well, and it was even he was like
that war cry
just got it behind his hand.
Yeah.
Like both refs were like, look at your hand. We were all sitting there going, don't break. It was pretty crazy.
The 17-year-old breaks his arm.
Oh man,
first match.
Yeah, I think he's turned 18 now.
Oh, okay.
But either way, so he was legit.
Yeah, epic match.
Yeah, great job, Miguel.
Congratulations to Miguel.
Yeah, really good job. And Jordan, learning experience. Train harder, come in with more fire next time. Maybe.
Yeah.
But, you had opportunities there, and that's what all these are for, is learning. So it was a great match. It was a really good back and forth. And then Lewis and Burhan seemed like just a very one-sided match, but again, it comes down. I think we're going to talk game plan quickly. The big thing, I don't think Burhan was ready for whatever reason, because it's kind of just like Lewis's MO, is just how intense his hit is when it's an actual ready go.
Yeah.
It's straight to the side with a lot of back pressure and a high, for his stature, even though he's short, he keeps a high knuckle. And it's really, just all at once. Like everybody that I know that's any good that's arm wrestled him has mentioned the fact that he goes from 0 to 100 so quickly.
And he gets the first pin every time.
Usually you have to figure him out.
You figure him out.
If you don't know him, you have to figure him out. You're not gonna unless you're the same person, going in the same direction, doing the exact same thing to him, and you do it better and aggressively and more aggressive. Maybe that's the only person who's gonna win him on a first pin is somebody who's the exact same kind of puller as him, but has to be at least a little faster or stronger, because he's fast and he's strong.
Yeah.
He's got a lot there. So I mean, Burhan did say that he said that he stopped him in practice. He was like, the reason I thought I had a good chance was because when I stop him in practice, I can pull him down pretty good, which is true. Lewis isn't great at holding. If he gets stopped, he's you've won more than half the battle at that point.
But all Burhan really could do was slip, and then once he got in the straps, then there's no chance of getting out of his hand and stopping him.
No, exactly. So he maybe he didn't realize how much the hit was going to be, is what I'm saying. But and what we're saying is it is a lot, because the match looks like totally uneven, but Burhan is strong. We both arm wrestled him after. He's solid. But if you don't have the right approach for Lewis and you get in the strap, it's not going to be a good day. It really isn't. He's fucking proper strong there. Good job, Lewis. It was as impressive as it looked easy, because Burhan is not weak by any means.
And I can't wait to see Lewis compete again.
Yeah, and so Lewis is going to compete again against Harpreet, which, if you're an Ontario arm wrestler, you know who Harp is, and that is going to be a good match, because Harp has got a dirty hook, and they're similar build, everything.
Right. Just like what you said, another guy going against him with the same thing.
But he doesn't arm wrestle. I wouldn't say that Harp isn't like a high posting, slamming side pressure at all. He doesn't. Mohinder's more like that as far as arm wrestler. And he's not even as much to the side. I mean, Mohinder a lot to the side, but he's maybe more back pressure than Lewis. but Harp is much more of like a defensive hook and a hook and drag, I feel. And he can top roll. He's a great arm wrestler. He can do a lot of everything.
Yeah.
His power point is definitely like buried in hook. So that'll be a good match,
cool
when that comes out. That's going to be on the 18th, BAL 102. That'll be the same day as my match with Pork Chop with Curtis. And we're going to talk about that match another time. So we're not going to get
on the match 3, BAL 101. Was my match with Derek.
Yes. So unfortunately for the Table Monkeys, it was not the best.
No,
the best day
I let
for us.
Table Monkeys down.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Derek came in super ready. He did a great job. We're not going to take anything away from his performance in talking about game plan or anything, because he did a great job and he came in ready to go.
Oh yeah, he executed his game plan.
Yeah, 100%. One thing we were thinking in comparison game plan, like the way we talked about Jordan coming in calm and collected and like kind of with like a little too calm and collected maybe, and then got overwhelmed by Miguel's like fire. Derek came in like calm and collected, but like to the right point. Like he still came in with a lot of fire.
Yeah.
And was able to really fire.
And you could see that he did have a lot of focus.
Yeah, he had a lot of focus, and you could see that he wasn't overly worked up. Like he wasn't over anxious or anything. He was just ready to go.
And I came in anxious.
Yeah, you instead of you coming in fired up, you came in overly anxious. So
Yeah.
it's like what Miguel did, but to the like too far to the side instead of the.
I overhyped it too much. That it became.
Yeah. One thing we were talking about for that was maybe like the timeline, right? Like maybe cramming a lot of things in.
Yeah.
Which you start looking for advantages, so you start thinking of what can you do?
What can I do in 2 weeks to make sure I'm the best I can possibly be for this day?
Yeah. And there's lots of different things. I mean, he said he ate steak all week. Maybe that was the right answer, you know?
Yeah, I should have done that.
But there's that's the hard part of when the pressure's on, is what adjustments are worth making, and because you do have to make adjustments always.
Right. Yeah. So let's talk about that. My game plan for this match was like high posting, back pressure.
Let's talk. That's a good point. Talk about what went wrong.
Get out of his hand and go to the strap, and then in the strap do something similar, but probably go for like a high hook or
in the strap you were hoping for it to feel a lot different, but you did end up getting to the strap, at least with him in your left hand, and it didn't turn out.
No.
It didn't turn out the same. So I think what we've kind of narrowed it down to was your lack of back pressure, right? Like, or at least the direction of your back pressure. Like, if for young arm wrestlers, and I've heard arm wrestlers say that it took them years to figure this out, there's a big difference between dragging and back pressure, and it's a very weird distinction that takes a long time to figure out, you know? Victor helped me figure that out really early on, like, because I was like, but I thought I'm giving you so much back pressure. He's like, no, there's no back pressure. That's all just drag. And then he started teaching me that, like, that leaning back and how driving it through through your hand differently, as opposed to feeling like you're dragging from your elbow. You know?
Exactly. I was trying to drag, and that's why I kept losing my arm, and my hand wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And Derek was just able to cut me in and then drag me to the side.
Yeah. You know, it's a thing too. You watch Bill Cameron. As fast as Bill Cameron is, he sets his hand and then he fires his body every time. He never starts firing his body before he's got his hand where he wants it. So ready, go, his hand goes where he wants, and then he throws his body.
Yeah.
And he does it lightning fast, but you watch him do it, and every single time, at least everyone I can think of that I've seen, he fucking sets that hook and carves that hand in and gets that shit like set in tight, and then throws his body. And again, I think young arm wrestlers, we have a tendency to like throw our body and then like leave our hand behind, you know, like Tyler was talking about that a bunch, about how he used to do that. He would like drive so hard, and then all of a sudden he's like down here and his hand's way the fuck back at the top of the table, and he's like, oh shit, you know. And
definitely still have some of that young arm wrestler blood in.
Well, obviously you're stupid. We're all really fresh, and even Derek, he's fresh, but that little bit of experience. But either way, that was another thing that he definitely did over you, was that he set his hand first.
Yeah.
He got the hand position he wanted, and then he went to the rest of the fight. Where you forgot about your hand, went to the part of the fight that you wanted it to be about, and then realized that your hand was fucked, and then got stuck in the mats that he wanted.
Yeah, and I realized I couldn't. I knew what I had to do and what I was trying to do. I just couldn't find it.
Yeah. Well, in the warm up too.
And I didn't. Yeah. So
the other thing was definitely everybody's got a different level of warming up. Everybody likes to warm up in a different way, and I think a lot of it has to do with how you train, right?
Yeah, and then we when we powerlift, we train. We warm up for like 10, 20, 30 minutes before a heavy lift. Like if we're gonna do a max lift.
And you've been running a lot, so your VO2 max is like it probably takes you a long time just to get your heart rate up now. You know?
And even when I'm running, like I still need like 2-3 miles of warm up before I'm
like feeling good to run.
Like primed and ready.
Yeah.
And I barely warmed up for this arm wrestling match, which was just a big mistake.
You know, one thing I think people worry about is warming up too soon and then like losing, like getting too fired up and losing that fire.
Yeah.
And that's the real skill, is knowing how to hold it, like warm up without letting any of that out and hold that in so it's like it just comes out at the point of contact, the ready go, you know? Like, it's that's really a trick. And that, if you just compare again, that's where Derek nailed that more than you. Like all his energy went into the match and not a lot outside of it, and you were spending a lot of energy thinking and trying to and pacing and you know, trying to catch up and figure out what was going on. And all that energy comes away from processing, like just focusing on what you should be doing, you know? And
I learned a lot of lessons on that day. And
it's awesome.
Did so much after pulling afterwards too that really got to figure out what I was doing wrong. And
that's the great thing about pulling with different people, right? There's so many different people there to pull with. You start they start talking about different things, and seeing a match like that, you get to really. It's not until you're tested like that you get to feel your weaknesses, you know? Expose your weaknesses. So I guess last thing is going to be.
Congratulations to Derek.
Yeah, Derek killed it, man. It was you showed up. You definitely
kicked the doors down.
Yeah, he's Canadian Dragon, right? And his Instagram, you definitely
dragging me to the pad.
You definitely had the dragon in you that day for sure.
We'll have a rematch one day.
Yeah,
in the future.
Train, and then we'll hold off on it, Derek. You call the rematch when you think you want another piece of Alex. And he's gonna go and find other people to beat up on for now. I guess the last thing we'll talk about is my match, which should be coming out on Friday.
So
tomorrow on Saturday, July 4th, there should be a live stream. Maybe we can live stream my match on our Facebook for sure. So we'll live stream my match for sure on the Facebook. We'll also film it. It's going to be awesome.
Extravaganza.
There's going to be a bunch of other matches going on, I guess. But my match is going to be against Jeff Oosterveld. I hope I said that right. And his nickname is also Tiny. So I don't know who had it first. I've had my nickname Tiny for a long time, but that doesn't really matter. The point is, it's the battle of Tiny versus Tiny. So he's a big boy. He's, you know, I think he's like 6'4" and should have a big hand. I've been told he's got a big hand and got a dirty top roll and stuff. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this match. I've got a simple game plan going in.
Destroy on every level.
Yeah, basically. I'm just so excited to get a real ready go and get on the table and let it all out. So and it's kind of a sort of a test and a preparation for Curtis.
Like, right, you're 2 weeks out.
Yeah, this will be 2 weeks out from Curtis when this match happens. So it'll be a good idea of how my peak is going, because I've still got more peaking and tapering to do to lead up to Curtis's match. And I mean, I'm not trying to talk shit or anything. I've just, from people I've pulled with, I've been told that Jeff isn't going to be too much competition for me. But I'm obviously not going into
show
it lightly.
Off some of your skills.
Well, I mean, my game plan is. I don't know if it's based on that necessarily.
Well, you're varying.
I have an idea of I've an idea of how I want the rounds to go.
Yeah.
But if the first round doesn't go the way I'm planning, I'm not going to progress through. I'm not going to progress through that plan. That plan is based on it being as easy as I'm quote unquote assuming it's going to be. But I'm not going in thinking it's going to be easy at the same time. Like, I want to go in expecting it to be hard and go hard on everything. But if the first part works out, then we're going to try the second part. If the second part works out, then on so on and so forth. So
what's the first part?
First part's just high posting top roll, and either take his hand or get out of his hand, whichever one needs to happen based on how the ready goes. But I'm pretty confident that it'll be one or the other. Like if his hand is dominant enough that I feel like I'm not able to get on top of it, then I'll be able to get out of it. And if it's if I get on top of it, then maybe I'm just going to take it and try to bring it down to the pad and not worry about slipping. If we do slip and go to the strap, then it's just going to be same high posting like Bajan style top roll to the
Flash
pad,
as fast
flash
as you
as
can.
fast as I can, and try to use that as a barometer against everybody else. That's because there's over the last year you've got Rick and Evan and Cameron that I've found that have like pretty convincing victories against him, right?
Yeah.
So if I can try to put him to the pad as quicker than any of those guys, I feel like that's making somewhat of a statement. And if that goes as planned, then my next round or next go should be I'm going to try to turn him into a hook and drag him down with a hook, and then the last one will be to try to finish him with a press. That's if everything goes as planned. If the top roll doesn't work as I thought, and his hand is way more dominant than I'm expecting, and I get into a real match, then we're just going to stick with that top roll.
You're going to adapt on the fly, but
the top roll is definitely my money move. So so that'll be my fallback, and based on how well that works, I'll decide to progress from there. If I find myself in a hell of a fight, then we're gonna stick with that top roll. But I'm excited to see what's going on and get a match, and I'm excited to pull with some people afterwards. There's gonna be a lot of great people there.
Yeah,
so,
it's gonna be an awesome day.
And yeah, that's how hopefully it goes. So this has been another long, chatty table talks. I don't know how far you made it, but if you made it this far, thanks for listening.
Yeah, and if you liked it, please like the video.
Yeah, leave us feedback in the comments.
Subscribe for new videos
each week, and monkeys out.
Peace.
See you next time.